My dark circles look so dark when I have foundation on and no concealer. Today I'm going to be doing a wear test of the new Fenty Beauty Concealer. I'm super excited about it. This is gonna be very different than my like concealer comparison videos where I'm just comparing like coverage and creasing and stuff. We're gonna be using this for the first time, meaning I'm gonna be applying it over my color corrector, I'm gonna be setting it, and then I wanna see how it wears. I wanna see how it holds up, if it's comfortable, flexible, the coverage that it provides. If you want to see an updated like concealer comparison video where I include this, I can show you that, and we can do it without color correctors. You can see how all of the concealers, maybe like leave me a list of concealers that you're most interested in, and I can compare this to, I don't know, maybe my top performers or whatever. So I'm gonna zoom you. Hey, if you haven't, subscribe, okay? Just like whatever. So where's my mirror? My mirror is here. Okay, so I have foundation on. I did a little nose contour and contour of my lips, which is why my face looks so strange. I haven't done face, so it's just like a little weird. Anyway, the color corrector that I use most often is my LA Girl Pro Conceal. It's a concealer, but it's in the shade Light Ivory, which is clearly like extremely peach compared to my skin tone. So I'm going to start off with that. I always add a little bit of warmth underneath my eyes to my dark circles so that my concealer doesn't end up looking gray, because I do have quite a bit of darkness. You don't need a ton. I just like to use enough to, you know, warm up that area. I'm gonna blend that out with my E24 brush. This is from Sigma. So just patting that into the hollow of the eye. Obviously focusing it in the darkest area and then taking whatever is left over out into the slightly dark areas. And no, I am not taking it all the way up to my lash line because I have creases there. I have very creasy creases, lines, deep lines. No concealer is completely crease free. And if I place a concealer there, it'll just settle in those lines no matter what. Plus I always put eyeshadow there anyway, so who cares? Okay. So I just do this. Plus I kind of like the way that it defines. You can, sometimes I like take the brush and just diffuse so it's not like such a harsh line. Okay, so the shade that I'm using is 120 Neutral, which seems to be the closest match for me. Honestly, Fenty skincare, face products, the complexion products, I've never really found like a perfect fit. It's either a little bit too dark or too light. So 120N seems to be like the closest. It is a little bit too neutral. If you compare it to my neck, you can kind of see like those olive, the olive undertone with like more like yellowy overtone, and it's not quite there, but you know, it's close enough. First off, I would like to say that the doe foot is very flexible. I really like it. It's very soft and gentle. So I'm just gonna place a little bit of this under my eyes right there. Here, the outer part of my eye. I'm gonna do a little highlighting there. Around my nose, this whole little section. We're just gonna do concealer for the whole face. Okay, these are the areas that I like to brighten. And then, as usual, I'm gonna be using my Sigma, I don't know, this has like a name, but I can never remember what it is. I just call it my wedge sponge. I'm just gonna spritz it with a little bit of mist. This one's from Tower 28. Any like mist. It's been sitting for a minute and I wanna rehydrate it so it's not too dry. I'm gonna start here. I can kind of see that like while it's sitting on my skin, it's oxidized and gotten ever so slightly darker, but like not really by a whole lot. But I can see a little bit more of the peach in the concealer now that it's been sitting. It looks nice though, as far as like highlighting compared to, I used a slightly darker foundation today. So it's adding a little bit of a nice like highlight, you know, that brightening is not bad. It definitely has like a very lightweight feel. which is also really nice. Doesn't feel heavy at all. I won't really know as far as coverage until we start blending directly underneath my eyes, but definitely think that that color works well enough with my skin tone. Or maybe if it was just like a little bit more yellow toned, just kind of like balance. But oh, it's blending very nicely. Like it has like a really nice lightweight kind of like hydrating feeling so far. Moment of truth. I'm gonna take it into the darkest area. This is looking pretty good, dude. I'm actually surprised at how well it's brightening. Oh, it looks so nice. I'm trying to think of a better way of describing the texture than what I've already said, but it has like a very lightweight, liquidy mousse kind of texture, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot of bounce to it. It feels flexible, like it feels very flexible, which I really appreciate. So much brightness. It's actually created like a nice amount of shape to my face. It's definitely like neutral, but I don't know, if I compare to my neck right now, that color in comparison to like my foundation shade is actually creating like kind of a nice balance of tones. I'm just gonna go in and blend with my foundation sponge around some of those edges. It looks pretty good, it looks pretty flexible. And on top of that color corrector, I don't really feel like I need to apply any more. When I use a color corrector, I usually only apply one pass of concealer and then set it. Because I don't, I want to minimize the amount of product that I'm using underneath my eyes since it's such a delicate area. Okay, to set my under eyes, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Halo Glow powder. I've been mixing this recently with the Huda Beauty setting powder, but I'm not going to do that for this just to keep it more consistent because that's like a relatively new practice that I've been doing. So I'm using my MAC 240S, e.l.f. Halo Glow in the lightest shade. Make sure that I'm blended. I'm pretty happy with that coverage. There might be like the slightest gray tone that you can see, but I slept like last night. So, products have to work overtime for me right now. Just so you guys know, the way that I have been prepping my under eyes recently, I've been using the Kiehl's eye cream. It's like kind of green. I don't know what it's called exactly. All in good. But I've been doing that pretty consistently for a while now, so I want to be able to compare this to like what my current routine or my routine has been for a bit. Okay. Let me get up close. It looks pretty nice. I definitely see a little bit of a gray cast coming from my dark circles. They were quite dark today and I only did one pass of my concealer. Yeah. I guess let me set the rest of my face. For the rest of my face, I'm going to use Givenchy powder. I think I'm most surprised at how brightening it is. Like I just wasn't really expecting that shade, especially because I saw like a little bit of oxidation. I wasn't expecting it to be so brightening, but it actually works pretty nicely. It's not like the color match isn't perfect, but it's pretty good. So as you can see right here, I did take a little bit, like when I was going to set, I did take a little bit up into the lines, and you can see that I have settling there, which is typical. That happens with every single concealer, okay? So don't freak out. When I smile, I get creasing here, see these lines? So that's what I'm gonna be testing today. I wanna see how it settles. I wanna see if it maintains coverage. I wanna see if it starts to like, I don't know, get crepey in any kind of way. So I'm gonna go film some other stuff and then I'll come back. What time is it? It is currently 10 a.m. I will come back and in a while and update you. Hello. Okay, we're back. So hold on. Do I have any food in my teeth? Because I was eating. Let me grab a mirror. Let's see. It is just after 4 p.m. It's like 4:07. What time did I finish this? It was like 10-ish, I think. So we're looking pretty good. Let me give you a real deep zoom. Obviously lips come off. I got a little, nothing terrible, just a little shine happening here, which is super typical for me. Yeah, under eyes looking pretty good. I'm seeing like the tiniest bit of settling, obviously in here, in the area where I have that like super deep crease, so it's gonna happen. Tiny bit, I don't know how well you can see like in this line, this fine line right here. Tiny little bit of gathering in those lines. So wait, 10, hold on, I have to count on my fingers. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 and a half. So like I've been wearing it for 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, wait, 1. So almost 7 hours of wear. Set with my usual powder. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm like relatively happy with that. What do you guys think? You can see like now that there has been some time. I feel like the gray cast underneath my eyes is a little bit more obvious. So there's that. Overall though, I'm pretty happy with its performance. It provided like a decent amount of coverage. It's definitely not as full coverage as, my lips are so dry. I should really put something on. This is like unreal. It's definitely not as full coverage as Tarte Shape Tape or my L'Oreal Infallible Concealer, but I would say that's a really good mid kind of concealer. For people who don't have like super dark circles, then it would probably feel way more full coverage because it does provide like a good amount of coverage. And it worked well enough. Like there's some nice brightening, like it worked well with all of my products, I think. But it is like, it's just not quite as full coverage as I would want it to be. But the formula is so nice. Like it's so light and creamy. It just doesn't feel like heavy on the skin, which I really appreciate. So if you've been looking for something that's like a little bit, I don't know, like if Shape Tape or the L'Oreal Infallible, if you've tried those and they're just like too heavy for you, this seems like a really good option. And I'm not mad at the color. The color actually ended up working like pretty well with my skin. Like if I sit back and you take a look at my neck, I feel like all of the highlights that we have going on in my face with the concealer and everything, like it works well enough. Like the neutral color is fine, it works. I'm like pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it. What do you guys think? Please let me know if you want to see a like coverage and crease comparison with, I don't know, some of the heavy hitters. For instance, Tarte Shape Tape, L'Oreal Infallible. I could even compare it to, the Rare Beauty Concealer, which I recently started using again. What else? My Luna Concealer, if anybody has checked that out. Let me know if there are any that you like specifically want comparisons for. If it were a little bit more full coverage, I would probably be obsessed with it, you know? But I think I'm gonna keep using it. I might use it more for like daytime, day-to-day sort of looks. I don't think it'll work for me for full glam, because I require a little bit more coverage. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Have you tried it? Do you like it? What do you think of the formula, shade, collection? Have you been able to find something that works for you? I'm still like kind of on the hunt for a Fenty foundation that like truly works for my skin tone. It's definitely on the neutral side, but it worked out. All right, so I'm going to pick a question to respond to, like I'm doing at the end of every video. I don't know if you saw my other 2 videos, I think 2 videos that I've mentioned that, but yeah, we're gonna do that. So I scrolled past a couple people who both have like the same question, and it's what camera I'm using to film. I get this question pretty often. So I am currently filming on the EOS R, and I have a Sigma lens. It's a Canon lens, sorry. It's a, I'm reading it. It's a 24 to 1 1.05mm zoom lens. When I first started, I used the Canon E80. Wait, Canon 80D. That's what it was. 80D? Wait, is that what it was? I'll link it down below. And I used a fixed lens, a prime lens, which means that you can't zoom, but the quality is amazing. I think it was like a 50mm and it was amazing. But I wanted to be able to zoom. So I got this guy. So that is the camera that I'm currently filming on. You don't have to spend a ton of money on a camera. I think the first Canon one, the 80D one that I had was really good quality. So if you're starting, it's a really good one. I don't remember why I specifically got that prime lens, but the quality was really fantastic and I used to get so many compliments about my quality of video. But I just used the camera audio and now I use a Sennheiser lav mic, which is why the audio is really good. So yeah, that's that. Hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any other questions about my setup. It's so haphazard, but it works for me. All right, guys, I hope that this video in general was helpful. Let me know anything that you want to see next, and I will see you in the next one.